What's going on, guys? CZero Media here, filming yet another vlog. Today I want to start out by congratulating GoPro All-Train for winning my previous vlog giveaway. It was a 2004 Acura TSX black in color. Yes, that is my other daily, and I picked up this 2002 Toyota Tacoma once I got a house, because I soon realized that I cannot own a house without owning a pickup truck. And as most of you know, I've been so busy renovating my house, and that's literally all I do. I go to work 8 to 5, I come home and I work on my house from like 5:30, 6 o'clock until 10 p.m. every day and most of the weekends. So that's why I've been slow on vlogging and making EVO videos and cafe racer videos. So I do apologize for lack of my videos. Today's topic is a topic that a lot of you have been asking for, messaging me on Facebook, messaging me on Instagram, and that is, how should I modify my Evolution EVO 8, EVO 9 when I just purchased the vehicle? Like, where do I start? What do I do? What kind of bottom parts should I get for my EVO? I know I did the EVO modification regret video in the past, which a lot of you liked, and a lot of you were asking me, okay, I know what parts to not get, but what parts should I get? So that's the topic I'm gonna be talking about. That being said, this video is for those of you who are looking to make about 400, 500 maybe at max at the wheels with simple buttons on the car. If you're aiming for 700, 800, 900 horsepower, turn off this video, tear down your entire vehicle, drivetrain, interior, exterior, just strip the car and build every little component on the vehicle. Because if you don't build your transmission, if you don't build your transfer case, it's gonna blow up. First of all, if you just purchased your very first EVO 8, EVO 9, congratulations to you, because you have acquired probably one of the best bang for buck performance cars out there. You spend a couple $100, couple $1,000 on the right parts, right components, and you're gonna be making 400, 500 horsepower reliably. First, and probably the most obvious modification you should get for your EVO is exhaust systems. Not only does it make the car sound better, it helps the turbo breathe easily, and you can make easy power. Now, when people get exhaust systems, some people tend to get high flow cat because they want to pass emissions and they don't want to fail the test. But honestly, high flow cats, in my opinion, are so expensive, and most of the time you don't see too much gain with performance. So if I were you, I'll just go with the test pipe, skip the high flow cat, get rid of the catalytic converter if you don't care about the environment. And if you care about the environment, you probably shouldn't be driving an EVO in the first place. Another thing to remember when you're getting exhaust system is that EVOs with JDM rear bumper have shorter exhaust, and EVOs with ACD pump have different routing when it comes to the center section, I think the mid-pipe section. So make sure you're aware of what kind of EVO you have and what kind of exhaust you're looking for. Another part I'll definitely get is boost controller, whether it's mechanical or electrical. If you're looking to up the boost precisely, it is essential that you have a precise mechanical or electrical boost controllers. Now, mechanical boost controller is the cheapest way to go. It's basically a simple mechanic valve that you install with your vacuum lines. Very easy to install, very easy to set. You just set it once and forget about it, and it's super cheap. Electrical boost controllers cost about 4 times more than mechanical. But what's great about electric boost controller is that you can adjust the PSI inside your car. You have temperature compensation, so you have high boost, low boost depending on the weather change, climate change, altitude change. So it's nice to have these features when you are getting more serious into tuning your EVO. Once you up the boost in your car, of course, you want to understand exactly how many PSI the car is pushing. So boost gauge is essential when it comes to really any kind of turbo tuning cars, so that you can monitor how many PSI the car is making. What's also essential is a air fuel ratio gauge, wideband air fuel ratio gauge, that is. It really allows you to see how rich or how lean the car is running. And this gauge is essential when it comes to tuning the car, because it allows the tuner to understand how healthy the car is running, so that you can tune the car to its maximum capabilities. For both boost and air fuel ratio gauge, I'm running the AEM. A lot of people prefer the AEM because it's reliable and it works, but some people like the innovative gauges. But I will stay away from Pro Sport because honestly they're garbage. I don't like to talk shit about other companies, but I have friends with Pro Sport gauges. I have Pro Sport gauges and they fail so many times, so I would stay away from Pro Sport gauges as much as possible. Alright, so you have added exhaust, you have upped the boost, you know the air fuel ratio in the car. Now what you want to do is deliver more fuel to the car. On EVO 8s, I would consider upgrading the fuel pump around 300 wheel horsepower. On EVO 9s, I would say about 350 wheel horsepower. You want to consider upgrading your fuel pump. Now, about 99% of people I know run the Volvo 255 fuel pump. It's a simple drop-in replacement and you can get it for under $100. Super easy to install, cheap modification to do. I will highly recommend it. On my car, I'm still running the Volvo 255 on pump gas, and I'm close to 500 wheel horsepower. But this year I plan on going E85, and by then I'll probably get the 400 pump, if not the Busher 255 double pump. Of course, when you're talking about fuel pump, the next thing you think about is probably fuel injectors. Now, fuel injectors might not be needed until you're about 400 wheel horsepower and above. And if you are already at that level, I would suggest getting the FIC 850s or the 1050s. On my car, I have the 1000cc injectors, and when I go E85, making probably around 650 wheel horsepower, I would need to go to 2000cc injectors. But if your goal is 450, 500 wheel horsepower, 1000cc on pump gas should be just fine. Now on to blow-off valves. Everybody loves blow-off valves, if you're a racer, that is. I mean, all jokes aside, if you own a EVO 8, it might be a good idea to upgrade to EVO 9 blow-off valve, because those are made out of metal, unlike the EVO 8 blow-off valve that is made out of plastic. EVO 9 blow-off valve, you can get up to 25 psi and above, no problem. And the EVO ECU doesn't have any issues for the most part when you tune it right with the EVO 9 blow-off valve and the recirculating blow-off valve. Please do me a favor and stay away from vent to atmosphere blow-off valves. EVOs don't like vent to atmosphere blow-off valves unless you go speed density. If you're making above 400 wheel horsepower, I would recommend that you get some kind of intake. But you can get away with drop-in replacement, drop-in filter replacement, that is. Or if you wanna replace the whole thing, you can go with like a Busher short ram intake or ETS intake, then that'll be fine. Just make sure you get a tune though, because EVOs don't behave too well when you replace the stock rubber intake. As for intercooler, unless you're making shit tons of power, I wouldn't waste your money on the front mount intercooler. The stock one is fine. It sports fast and it cools down just fine for stock turbo systems. But when it comes to intercooler piping, I would highly recommend you replace your lower intercooler piping. Upper intercooler piping doesn't do much for you, but replacing the lower intercooler piping and the unnecessary bends in your turbo systems does increase spool, and you will gain about 10 wheel horsepower. Intercooler couplings is another item that a lot of people overlook. If your EVO has like 50, 60, 70,000 miles, it might be a good idea to replace your couplers for your intercooler pipings, because as you up the boost, there is higher chance that these couplers will go. It might be a good idea to replace these before your car breaks down on you. Now that you have modified your exhaust systems, the fuel system, the intercooler piping, next thing you might want to consider is your camshafts. If you're planning on making under 500 wheel horsepower, and if that's the case, you're probably looking at a turbo smaller than GT30R, I would recommend something like the GSC S1 and maybe the S2 cams. I sell these cams for a pretty good price. I get good discounts, so if you're interested in these cams, hit me up. but you don't need GS3 S3s or like the Busher 272s that I have in my car, unless you're gonna be running big turbo like a GT35R making 600, 700, 800 wheel horsepower. And when you're doing camps, you should definitely install ARP head studs, because as you make more boost out of your 4G63, there's more chance that your head is gonna lift. And this is probably one mod that I would recommend every new EVO owners if they plan on making tons of power out of their motor. Replace your head studs. It's not hard to do, just take off your valve cover, and I think you can do the job without lifting your head if you're careful. And it's definitely worth it. The last thing you want to do is lift up your head as you up the boost and warp your brand new EVO's head. Now if you're like me, who is planning on making shit tons of power, and I'm talking about 500 wheel horsepower making more than 35 psi, I would recommend going with the L19 head studs. It's made of different material and it doesn't stretch as you up the boost. Make sure you crank up these at 100 foot-pounds of torque when you're installing them. There's instructions all over online and there is proven methods, so make sure you follow the instruction manual and tightening sequence when you buy these head studs. Lastly, the absolutely most important modification you have to do to your car is tune it. If you get new exhaust system, tune it. Intake, tune it. Intercooler, tune it. You cannot modify and add these parts to your EVO without tuning the car afterwards, because you're gonna run the risk of running the car too rich, too lean, and you're gonna end up blowing up your car. So make sure you find a great tuner in your area to tune your car. If you don't have anybody, or if you don't have any connections for tuners locally, hit up my friend Mike. His Facebook page link is below in the description. Tell him I sent you and he'll hook you up with awesome tune. He tunes EVOs all around the world and he's the guy that tunes my car. Very good guy, and he knows what he's talking about. So go talk to him if you need a tune. And again, I don't care where you go to, make sure you find a reliable tuner who knows what they're talking about, because last thing you want to do is invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in your EVO and have your tuner blow it up. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks again for watching my video. I really appreciate it. How to mod your EVO was a question I was getting all the time. I was getting messages on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm glad I finally had a chance to cover this topic. I know I've been so busy working on my house, and I do apologize for lack of my video submissions lately, but I assure you I'll be posting more videos once the house is done. And I'm excited to continue my build on the EVO, Cafe Racer, and my Tacoma. So thanks again for watching, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you really liked it, share the video, share the knowledge. That's the reason why I'm filming these videos. I hate going to car meets and seeing these cars tuned poorly with wrong parts that doesn't do anything to the car. So please spread the knowledge. If you have questions, leave it in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in my next vlog series. So drive safe out there, guys, and if this is your first EVO, congratulations. Welcome to the EVO DSM life, and I will see you in my next vlog.